The OnePlus 11 is a fantastic smartphone, and currently if you want the most affordable flagship smartphone powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, then this is the one to go for. However, if the OnePlus 11 is a fantastic smartphone, then I think the OnePlus 11 is even a better deal than this one, because this is a flagship killer phone, which means this one comes at a more affordable price than that of the OnePlus 11. So the main question is that which of these two phones offers the better endurance? I mean, if you are in the market to go for a performance driven phone, then should you just go for the latest and greatest and get the OnePlus 11, or should you settle for the OnePlus 11R and save some cash? Let's find out. Hello everyone, I'm here for Fiiber, and this is the Fiiber style 6-hour battery drain test between the OnePlus 11 and the OnePlus 11R. Now before we get on with the rest of the video, consider hitting that red subscribe button for detailed tech videos, and also turn on the bell so that you don't miss any of our latest updates. With that said, let's get started. As always, we start off with booting both devices, and while the OnePlus 11 boots up faster, the OnePlus 11R is by no means any slouch and is right behind the OnePlus 11. Now, for all those who have been watching our battery tests, you know how we do this. For those who have just tuned in from this video, well, we start off by doing a 2-hour YouTube video playback, followed by an hour of 1080p video recording, followed by an hour of performance benchmarks, followed by an hour of gaming, and we finally end the test with an hour of running social media. So both of these phones on the table are connected to the same Wi-Fi network, and apart from the YouTube video playback where we keep the brightness at full, for all the other tests the brightness will be set at manual and at 50%. Also, both phones have been fully charged and booted fresh before we began, and yes, with that, let's get going with the first test, that is the 2-hour YouTube video playback. So both the OnePlus 11 and OnePlus 11R feature gorgeous 10-bit curved AMOLED displays up front. The OnePlus 11 has an E4 AMOLED, a 1 to 120 Hz adaptive refresh rate, up to 1000 Hz touch response rate, and a 1350 nits brightness. While the 11R on the other hand has the super fluid display, a 40 to 120 Hz adaptive refresh rate, up to 360 Hz touch response, and a 1450 nits brightness. So in terms of quality, guys, both are top-notch panels. Of course, you get 10-bit colors here and over the traditional 8-bit panels, which means colors pop and things look vibrant on both the screens. In terms of brightness also, both can hit around the same peak numbers, and in my testing also, they both look the same in terms of brightness, even in the harshest of sunlight. And of course, 1350 nits or 1450 nits, both phones have ample brightness to live up to your needs. Now the main difference there is that, of course, while gaming, it is the 11's better touch response rate that will give you a better gaming experience. And even in terms of the general quality of the panels, I think the display on the OnePlus 11 is definitely the better one and the more consistent one when it comes to reproducing the colors. For instance, the OnePlus 11R's panel has this tendency to sometimes have this warm white balance in some situations, and sometimes the same warm white balance tends to look cool. But on the other hand, the display on the OnePlus 11 seems a tad better when it comes to the more consistent nature of it and the natural colors that you get, along with slightly better contrast while consuming content. That said, both the OnePlus 11 phones have fantastic panels, but the 11 flagship definitely has a slight edge here. Of course, you're also paying for the OnePlus 11 more, so that is also there. So we are done with the 2-hour of YouTube video playback, and currently the OnePlus 11 with its newer processor and the more efficient display is leading at 90% battery, while the OnePlus 11R is trailing behind with 86% battery left in the tank. With that, let's see whether the OnePlus 11R can redeem itself in the next round as we head towards an hour of 1080p video recording. Now, both the phones on the table have the same 50-megapixel IMX890 primary rear camera with OIS. However, the OnePlus 11 features a better 48-megapixel ultra-wide-angle camera plus a 32-megapixel telephoto camera, while the OnePlus 11R features a modest 8-megapixel ultra-wide-angle camera along with a 2-megapixel macro shooter. Now for selfies, both phones have a 16-megapixel lens at the front. Now one more thing to note here is that the OnePlus 11 can shoot up to 8K 30fps videos from the rear camera, while the OnePlus 11R can only shoot up to 4K 60fps videos from the rear camera. Now front videos are capped at 1080p 60fps on both the smartphones. So of course, to know more in detail about how these cameras perform, be sure to check out our other comparison videos of the OnePlus 11 and the OnePlus 11R coming soon if they aren't live already. But for now, let's forward to the 3-hour mark to check the battery statistics of both the phones here. So the OnePlus 11 is currently at 78%, while the OnePlus 11R is trailing with 72% battery left in the tank. So with 3 hours gone in the test, let's now run a bunch of benchmarks here on these devices. We start with Geekbench. Now, in terms of hardware, the OnePlus 11 is powered by the latest and greatest Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, while the OnePlus 11R is powered by half a generation old Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 chipset, which is as crazy fast chip in its own right. Additionally, both phones feature up to 16GB LPDDR5X RAM and up to 256GB storage options. However, the 11R utilizes UFS 3.1 storage for both its variants, while the OnePlus 11 utilizes UFS 3.1 storage for its 128GB storage variant, while the 256GB storage variant gets the UFS 4.0 standard. So with that, we are past the first round of Geekbench, and as you can see, the solid performance in terms of dual core scores. Of course, the OnePlus 11 is the better one here, but similar performance in terms of single core scores. And so I ran another round of Geekbench to check, and once again the scores were around the same lines. And this begs me to think that maybe there's an issue here with my unit of the OnePlus 11, because other phones with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 chip score pretty high in all respects. And also to let you know, no battery saver on anything like that was set before running the benchmarks on the OnePlus 11. Anyway, on to the AnTuTu testing, and once again both the phones score pretty impressive numbers. But again, we should note that other phones with the same chip, the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 and the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, score much more than these phones. So this is strange to see. Not that I have faced any real world performance issues, but as I said, the numbers are strange. Finally, the last benchmark in this test is a 40-minute CPU throttle test, which will give us an idea about the sustained performance of both smartphones under heavy load. So as seen in the final results, both the phones scored a good 82% score, which I think is pretty decent. Plus, the average chips on both smartphones is right up there. Of course, the 11 is ahead, but again, the 11R is no slouch either. With that, we have finished 4 hours into the test, which means now it is time to do an hour of gaming. And please don't mind that I got carried away with the gaming bit and did not check the battery statistics. So quickly giving you the battery stats of both smartphones after a little over 4 hours. The OnePlus 11 is still leading at 56% battery, while the 11R trails behind with 52% battery left in the tank. Now let's continue with an hour of gaming. And as expected, both the phones were able to run Asphalt 9 Legends without a hiccup or any stutter or heating for an hour. And after finishing a total of 5 hours into the test, both phones showed a 13% drop in their batteries. So the stats after 5 hours, the OnePlus 11 leads at 43%, while the OnePlus 11R still trails at 39% battery left in the tank. Finally, we reached the last leg of the test, and for this one I will run an hour of Instagram on both smartphones. Of course, over the course of time, what started off as a 6% gap between both the phones has reduced to 4%. So let's fast forward to the 6-hour mark and see who wins. So as per the final numbers, the OnePlus 11 is the winner with 34% battery left in the tank after a rigorous 6-hour battery drain test, while the OnePlus 11 is also not very far behind as it finishes with 29% battery left in the tank. Of course, in a more real-world scenario, both the OnePlus 11 and the OnePlus 11R are more than capable to give superb endurance. However, also note that for this test, I had set the OnePlus 11 at a Full HD Plus resolution to keep the test on similar lines, since the 11R has a native Full HD Plus resolution. So say if you use the OnePlus 11 with Quad HD Plus resolution, then I believe the OnePlus 11R will be able to outrun it in terms of endurance. But there you have it, folks. That was the battery drain test between the OnePlus 11 and the OnePlus 11R. In my opinion, both of these phones are endurance champs. But what is your opinion? What do you think about this battery drain test video? And what is your take on the performance of both the OnePlus 11 and the OnePlus 11R? Let me know everything in the comments below. And as always, for all the latest in tech, stay tuned to Fiiber. I'll catch you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.